Maybe you've played 1,000 hours of this game, or maybe you're brand new to the game, but there's always tips and tricks to be told, and we're going to be talking about 1.3 Experimental Part 2. If you have not seen my Part 1 already, go check that out. Maybe the right hand side top, I don't know, somewhere up there. Click the little button if you've not seen it. We talk about mortars and how to aim them. We're going to continue that a little bit and talk about how to build a mortar base effectively, and some other tips and tricks as well. So stick around, maybe some of it will help you out, maybe you know some of it, I don't know. With that being said, let's get into the video. Last video, you guys saw me talk about how to aim the mortars, but how do you set the mortars up? So normally, to set a mortar up on a normal base, you go to the command tent, but what if you want to build the mortars outside of your base? That is where this bad theory comes in right here, construction truck. Now, it looks very similar to a supply truck, but it has this little building symbol or a sideways E. I don't know what you call that, whatever that is. So this is a construction truck. It allows you to build structures outside the main base, as long as you have supplies in the truck. The biggest difference is it only holds 550 supplies, compared to a supply truck carries 1,500. So if you're going to go ahead and build mortars, you're going to want a teammate or a friend to come bring a supply truck as well with 1,500 supplies, because it does cost quite a bit of supplies to build these mortars. It costs like 200 or 300. I can't really see right now because I'm in Game Master mode. So what you want to do is go to the back of the truck, start building, and you can go to the very end, to the mortar, and you can see I have some structures I'm going to build soon too. Let's place a third one over here. Why not? Just for fun. So you build it just like you normally would build anything. Make sure you have your shovel out, and I'll show you, the structures to build. You can build anywhere outside the area, and it looks lopsided right now, right? But when it's done building, it'll be flat. All right, there we go. It flattened itself out. It gives yourself a little dirt pile here, and there's bees or flies flying around. They're really loud right now. Bro, you're disturbing my video, brother. Look at them. I don't know if you can see them. They're flying. They're flying around. I don't know if this will make it in the video. But yes, you built this right here. And I highly recommend, doing them side by side like I did this one here. And then building up these tall barricades up. Maybe put some barbed wire in between so infantry troops that come and, sabotage your base can't kill you. This is the best way to do it if you want to be hidden, because obviously the mortars are loud. If the enemies know your exact position, they're going to rain hell on you. So go out in the middle of the woods, and like I said, I recommend coming with a friend or two. If you're by yourself, it's going to take a little longer because you need to do a first run with the construction truck, build everything, then go back for supplies, because the mortars cost 50 mortars per shot. 50 mortars per shot is a lot. Because like I said, you're only carrying 550 supplies in a construction truck. It costs 200 to 300 to build. So it leaves you with like 150 left, maybe 200. Like I said, depending on how much it costs to build. I can't really see that right now. So that only leaves you with like 3-4 shots of mortars. So you're going to want 1,500 to 3,000 supplies to be able to actually effectively use the mortars. So if you have 2 other friends, one of you bring the construction truck, 2 in the supply truck, and you're good to go. Now the next tip on building little mortar bases outside your main bases is actually build them on a supply depot. Now this is going to be difficult and hard, but it is very nice and effective, because you don't have to keep driving back and forth with your trucks to refill your ammo for your supplies. So let's just say for the sake of the video that this is actually a supply depot area like it's meant to be here. So what you can do is just build right on the side of where the supply depot is. Continue shooting. Obviously the supplies will run down, but they auto-generate. Now, I do not recommend this for new players or if you're just by yourself, because supply depots are obviously, people come to it all the time to grab supplies. And if you're near an enemy base that grabs supplies from it, they're going to be coming up here hitting you all the time. So unless you have a good fire team going, protecting you while you're shooting your mortars, I don't recommend it. Okay, so this next tip is kind of more of an awareness style tip. So you cannot respawn on your base anymore if it's being attacked. I'm gonna try and find a clip. I know I have a clip this somewhere when I was live streaming. I'm gonna try and throw it up here. I apologize if I don't have it. You're gonna take my word for it. So you know how when you die and you get the whole map menu brings back up, you try and respawn on a base and it shows red to blue blinking back and forth, and it extends your timer. It says like a minute until you have to respawn. Now when an enemy is attacking your base, you can't respawn that base. This is good and bad at the same time, right? Because you don't want to get spawn killed. When you spawn on a base and get spawn killed, that is the most frustrating thing ever. But it also brings a layer of fairness to the people who are capturing the base. Because if that base has 15,000 supplies, people can keep respawning there constantly, and no one gets to capture the base ever. Now, ranking up. We're going to talk about ranking up here. So, a lot of people talk about the rank system, and it takes too long to get to captain, because captain is what you need to use the fragmentation shells for the mortars, and like that, everyone's trying to get to the captain rank up for that, and as well as the helicopters. The best way to rank up, when you spawn in, hopefully you spawn into a brand new match. It has not started yet, You go in. That transport truck is going to be your friend. That transport truck right here, jump in that thing. I do not recommend going to the BTR because the BTR gets blown up all the time by RPGs. Usually you go into the transport truck, that guy will bring you around to all the main bases. You capture all your points really quickly, and you rank up fast. And then you run supplies after. Do not run supplies in the beginning thinking you're going to get a high rank fast. That's not how it works. Capture the bases first, especially the main purple ones. You get a lot more rank for that. And then do supply runs after. And I've gotten high rank, in an hour or less, half an hour at sometimes. Now, we'll talk about that half an hour thing in a minute. Killing people as well gives you a rank. So if you go ahead and you're even attacking AI or defending your base, anything in a positive action will give you rank. But the biggest thing is base capturing and supplies. Now, I know how I just said, I got to a higher rank at 30 minutes. That's very possible to do, but you have to be the driver of that transport truck. See, if the more people you drive and transport around, the higher rank you get. If you transport one person around, you'll get slightly higher rank here and there, but if you're driving a truck full of 10 people, you get ranked so fast as well as capturing the base rank. So if you know the map and you can get to that transport truck in the driver's seat before anybody else, that is highly recommended. Alright, this next tip, guys, we're going to be talking about the helicopter ripple system. So the ripple system on the missiles will only are on the Russian side. So you need to be on the Russian side to use this helicopter, the gunship. And what I mean by ripple system is this. Ready? It shoots a certain amount of missiles per shot. That was one pull of the trigger. You can adjust how much you dump out at a time. So obviously you can look around and see your controls, you get your aimer there, set your elevation, but look up on the dashboard. Weapon station select auto, keep that normal. Fire mode ripple. Select quantity. Hit the triangle button. So you can do 16, 8, or 4. So you can dump 16 missiles at a time. This is gonna be insane, ready? I just used all my missiles in one go. So you can actually adjust to how many you want. So if you know there's a massive area you want to hit and do a bombing run, you can dump all your missiles at once. Now the American Huey does not have this feature, but the American Huey has a retractable sight. Their sight folds up to the side. The Russian one does not, so it's always in the way, which it could be a good thing or bad thing. And you have a sun filter here, which I never use, and the iron sight, which, let's be honest, the iron sight's kind of ass. You can't even really see it. It's barely there. The next tip is going to be ranked locked weapons. Now, this is kind of a tip. A lot of people know this already, but for the new players, you might not. So as you see, when you spawn in, all the weapons are going to be locked. You cannot grab all the weapons. You can get like an M16 and, M249 saw and a law. That's about it. You're going to have to rank up to get an M16 carbine. You're going to have to get, rank up to get the rest of the guns. So what if you're not high enough rank to get a good gun or an attachment? You have a friend, you have a buddy that is of rank. If they are a rank, they can grab the gun out of the box for you, drop it on the ground, and simply just, pick it up. Make sure you save your loadout. I've done this before with my buddy Dab, and, that's the clip you're watching now probably. I'm going to pull these from my earlier clips because there's nothing going on the actual screne. I'm just staring at a mortar right now talking to you guys. Yeah, so that's the best thing. Obviously you rank your character up. I'm always going to say rank up, but maybe if, you're not high enough rank because you want to use the PKMN, that new gun's going to be like lieutenant, I think, which is an absurdly high rank for a PKM essentially with just a sight on it. The next tip, we're going to be talking about the LAV. This beautiful son of a bitch right here. The LAV is a beautiful, beautiful machine, and we're going to go ahead and get into it and show you a little bit about it. You have two different style rounds, APDST, which is armor piercing, and then you have the HEIT, so the HE rounds and the AP rounds, essentially. You have a third one, which is your just your machine gunner. I'm on American side, so it's an M240. But we're going to be focusing on the big boy rounds right now. So we're going to test out which is more effective against heavy armor compared to light armored vehicles. Now, obviously, if you want to explode the vehicle, HE is always going to go the best way. Same thing with like helicopters and stuff, But if you're shooting troops inside of a vehicle, AP rounds are the way to go, and I'm going to prove that right now. I just spawned in people inside the armored vehicles, and we're going to take a look at them and see if they get killed because I'm shooting at them. We're first going to aim at the on the right-hand side, and we're using AP rounds. I just one shot. I heard someone get hurt. Try and shoot the gunner. Oh, the gunner is dead though. I did get him on this one shot right here. I got him with one shot. The AP round will pierce right through the BTRs. Now that was what, 2 or 3 shots? I hit twice. 3. It's not gonna really explode the vehicle. You see a tiny bit of smoke coming out, but it's not what it's meant to do. It's meant to, you know, penetrate inside and kill the infantry inside. Sorry, bro, you're down. See, that killed both guys inside the vehicle because it penetrates right through the armor. I've had people say, why are you using AP rounds on certain things? It's because you're trying to penetrate through it. Specifically during a video where I used AP rounds on a helicopter. Like, why? Why? Because AP rounds will penetrate through, kill all the crew members, as well as the pilot. And if you hit the rotors with an AP round, it is going to blow those rotors up and the helicopter's going to fall instantly. Now, obviously, if you want to blow up and, you know, burn in the sky, use HE rounds. HE rounds will set a vehicle on fire super fast, which I'm going to prove that right now. But the reason why I don't use HE on helicopters a lot is because when the helicopter's on fire, if the driver's not on fire itself, the driver can literally, or the pilot can literally land the helicopter and fix it with a wrench. Okay, so we achieved that. We shot through and got a bunch of, you know, kills over there. We're going to switch over to the HE rounds. There's 3 shots to the armored vehicle, and it is not doing anything to the troops inside at all. Armor still is 100%. Let's see if we aim at the engine a little bit. Blew the tires out instantly. Armor still 100%. Do not use HE on armored vehicles, guys. It will not work. If you're shooting at ground vehicles, though, and that's a different story. There we go. We had like 15 shots. I kind of lost count. Next tip is going to be talking about how to actually drive this thing. Now we talked about the gunner and how the AP rounds are good for using, you know, against armored vehicles. I mean, it's literally armor penetrating. It's what it's meant to do, right? HE, like I said, I would use for light vehicle or infantry on the ground. But we're going to talk about driving this thing. This thing is slow uphill. I made a video talking about the BTR, how to actually, you know, drive the BTR up hills. This is very similar. If you come to a hill that's too steep for this thing, you want to go into reverse. Go dead stopper here, see if we can make it up. Yeah, I made it up easy. But the reverse on this thing will still get you up higher. I mean, look how fast that is. I'm gonna shut the engine off because it's super loud. But yeah, reverse on these style, you know, these armored vehicles is always more efficient getting up steep spots where you cannot get up and, you know, drive. But it will burn 2 times the gas, so keep that in mind, guys. This next tip is going to be talking about the BDRM2. It's not really a tip. It's just kind of, you know, keep this in mind. A lot of people think that the BDRM2 is not as strong as the LAV. Now, the gun on it isn't as good as the LAV, but this gun still smokes people very, very hard. I got some fake, you know, AI in there. We're going to see if we can get some kills. Everyone is dead inside. Everyone just died inside the vehicle. All of them. They're all dead. So if you're sitting here thinking this BDRM2 is not that great and it's not that effective, you don't need an LAV with, you know, these AP rounds or these high explosive rounds. This BDRM2 is actually one of the best vehicles in the game because it is very fast and very quick. Little tip while trying to shoot helicopters down or even just like other armored vehicles, this isn't specifically for the BDRM2. It could be LAV, it could be the BTR, whatever. This has 2 guns on it. The LAV has 3, but clicking R1 or the top bumper will switch you really quickly. That's a really quick switch. You can't be aiming in. If you're aiming in and hit the R1 button, it won't switch to your second gun. You have to be outside the aimer like this, and it'll switch. A lot of people see, you know, they pull up the weapon wheel here and they switch it by doing that. That's a lot slower way. It's way more effective just to get out of your scope, hit the R1 button, go back in. It's very quick. Whatever gun you're on, shoot your largest rounds first. let's say he's not dead, quickly switch. And then use your secondaries after. Alright, this last tip, we're back to the mortars. We did a full circle around, guys. So this last tip is going to be talking about the smoke shells and the illumination shells. Fuck the practice shells, the training shells. I don't ever use those, never will. The illumination shells, obviously, is super good for nighttime. Or go ahead and pack one up, and then we'll make it nighttime. It is nighttime. Ooh, scary. Obviously, a lot of you know on PS5 or Xbox or anyone actually playing vanilla servers, it gets very dark very quickly, and it's very hard to see. It is bright. The moon is out right now, so it's not as dark as it can be, actually. And there we go. Look how big of an area that lights up. Look at that. This entire region is lit. It's lit! That lasts a good amount of time, too, and those are, like, right on top of each other. Imagine tipping the mortar a little to the left and right. This changes the game. So now you don't have to use your personal grenade launcher for illumination rounds. I mean, obviously you still can, but these are a game changer for nighttime fighting. Alright guys, that is going to be it for the video. I appreciate everyone stopping, and please make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I cannot wait to see you guys there, and 1.3 update drops tomorrow. Make sure you check out my live stream that happens. I'm going to be streaming all weekend, so catch you guys later. Peace out, y'all.